again, when you look at the allegations, they get very, very weak. They do not amount to human trafficking. And that's my point. All of these allegations, they don't amount to human trafficking. And we know that. Because why don't they want to include the CCTV? You know why they don't want to include the CCTV. I know why they don't want to include the CCTV. Because the CCTV will demonstrate that actually these women had freedom of movement, freedom of doing what they want, and it would give a great window into seeing that. And hence why they're not including it, because they know they'll damage the case, and that's why they're not including it into the prosecution evidence. And sorry, in the last bit, the psych report, again. Oh no, so you already conceded that. Sorry.
So do you think that the international law will change? Or do you think that Romanian law will change after this case? If this truly is a violation
it's
of
a very good question, but that's the reason international law is there. Very recently, Romanian law changed because what happened was Romanian law had it in there where women weren't allowed to work as long hours as men. International law, it violated international law, and very recently it was changed. So yes, that's the base. That's the reason we have.
So I'm just asking,
that's the reason we have EU law and international law.
So do you think that the law will change after this TATE case?
About this issue?
Yeah.
So this issue is that they've just not applied the law. So they own. This is part of
their own opinion.
No. This is not my opinion.
Your opinion. It's your opinion.
No. This is not an opinion. I'm saying they already have this in Romanian law.
No.
The problem is what you're
saying the judge in all the court cases are violating their own law right now? That's an opinion. That's a feeling that you have.
No. It's not a feeling, an opinion. The articles that I have cited are part of Romanian law. So what I'm trying to say is that has been overlooked by the judge. So he should look into it. So maybe he will look into it in the next one. But the point is the judge has overlooked it, and that's incorrect because you wanted me to cite examples of where international law has been contravened.
Sure.
And
so that's why. That's in your opinion. That's all that is. It's your opinion.
It's not an opinion. It's
the judge is the judge. It's their legal system. You feel like they haven't adequately addressed the international laws.
That's right.
The judge obviously disagrees with you. That's your opinion, though. I don't know why you think that that's like a fact that you can state. Obviously, different people. You probably have an opinion that the Patriot Act or something also violates international laws. But that would be an opinion.
No. So I know that the Patriot Act doesn't violate international laws, and neither does the Romanian system. I'm saying. What should happen is, in terms of the Patriot Act, in terms of the same rules in the United Kingdom Terrorism Act, in terms of the Romanian system, in the 180 days, I'm saying that I said it right at the beginning, that my argument based on that isn't based on law. So that is my opinion. That should be changed because I think that's unethical that you can detain someone, especially when most of these people who are being detained are from minority communities.
Sure, and you think for the Romanian law, you think it's a statement of fact that the judge is violating their own laws. That whole process right now, every member involved.
Look. That's not how law works. If you think that the law works, that a judge basically applies certain laws in a scenario and doesn't either consider. Because that actually happens. Judges sometimes don't consider certain laws, and that can be an oversight. Or it could be that the judge doesn't agree with it. That could have happened as well. So I'm not saying that the judge did it on purpose. It's possible it was just an oversight. Or it could be that the TATE's legal team didn't even present it. That could be it as well. And that's why they've got Tina Glandian in the fray now.
Yeah, you keep bringing up Tina. She's not their lawyer, though, right? Isn't she just their U.S. lawyer? She's not even the one that's allowed inside the jail. So if they were serious about getting somebody to challenge this on like an international rights stage, is she bringing an international case forward? I thought that she was just the U.S. representative they have. She's not part of the Romanian legal team.
So I think you just hit onto a very important point. So Tina Glandian can't represent them inside the Romanian court, but she can represent them in the international stage. So yeah, if this went further into the international stage, she would be able to represent them. And based on that, she should be allowed to see them. So again, that's another contravention. Don't you think that's unacceptable that a lawyer who we are saying there's a possibility that these articles are being contravened is not allowed to see her clients to be able to mount and understand their position and their arguments and then mount that defense in the international court? Don't you think that is an actual violation of you?
No, I've never heard of that. That if I get arrested here in London for doing something, that I can necessarily demand a U.S. lawyer that flies over to here and has rights to access me in prison or in anything else. I've never heard that as international law before. That's a requirement.
No. You having access to your legal counsel is an international law.
They have access to their Romanian legal counsel.
They have access to their Romanian legal counsel for the case within Romania. Yes. If this case was to be taken to the international stage, they would need access to the international lawyer, which would be this person.
But it's not at the international stage yet.
How does a case go into the international stage? You basically retain someone, they speak to you, you build your case, and then you mount it. What are you talking about? That's literally what happens. So basically, in your mind, what happens is your retention is only made when you make the application. That's literally not how law works. That's literally not how the system works. What are you talking about?
My guess would be that in the middle
of you
being...
Your guess is.
Okay, the fact of the matter is in the middle of an investigation for another case, you probably couldn't bring an international case at the very same time.
That it's a fact.
I don't know.
Prove that it's a fact.
Prove that yours is a fact.
What I'm saying, prove it's a fact. I've explained to you how the law works. You're saying that
is she even retained for an international case right now? Has she filed an international case?
I've just explained to you.
Okay, so everything you're saying is an opinion. You have no basis to even believe that she will file an international case. You have no idea about that.
I've just explained to you that there's a reason why that there's a human rights lawyer involved. There's a reason why she's actually stated human rights laws within the public sphere. And what I'm saying is, it could be that they don't file it. The issue is this, because that actually happens. The whole point is she should be having access to her clients to be able to determine if the case is going to be strong enough. Because what if they reveal something to her and then she thinks that's not a good avenue to go? What if they don't want to go down that avenue? And that's why you need to have access to your lawyers. That's your problem.
I don't think that in every country, I don't think that you can demand to have an international lawyer step in when you're in the middle of a local or a local criminal court proceeding.
In every country, well, not in every country, but in international.
I just googled. It says the right requires the accused to have access to a lawyer at all stages of criminal proceedings, including the initial period of police detention, questioning, and investigation.
Of lawyer, yes, they have that to their Romanian lawyer. But what he's saying is they also have a U.S. lawyer that they feel should be able to come in and represent them from an international case.
You should have access to all your lawyers. I'm not sure why we're arguing this. Like this, if your argument was this, if my argument was this, they should have access to the international lawyer, Tina, for the Romanian case. You are right. And that's why I never made that argument, because that's
sure. And if you want to make the argument that if they file an international case, they should have access to an international law, then sure, that's fine too. But my understanding is Tina has not been retained to file an international case. Yeah, she might talk about international legal violation or whatever, but of course she's going to say that. She's their lawyer. That's her job. She's supposed to say whatever she can to make them look good. But if she wants to go and actually file an international case, then we would be having a different conversation. If Romanian authorities were saying, you can't talk to these people because we've got them in our prisons right now, then that probably wouldn't be okay.
Do you accept that you can retain a lawyer and that lawyer can act for you before you make an application?
Sure, but I don't know if that lawyer should have access to you while you're in foreign prisons.
How can she make an application if she doesn't have access to you?
Can't you make a phone call, write a letter? She's got statements from these guys.
Write a letter. Come on, man. When you need to talk, so that even a phone call would be access to your lawyer. Like what?
Yes.
So yeah.
Haven't they communicated with her?
I don't know about in terms of phone call, but you should be able to have access to your lawyer. So what's the reason?
How did they retain her if they're not able to communicate with her? Clearly, they have communicated with her. My understanding is she's not allowed into the prison to actually see them. That was the issue that she had. Is she I think she flew to Romania and she went with the Romanian legal team, and they didn't let her into the prison to talk to them face to face.
So again, she should be allowed access, because if you're going to
now she hasn't filed an international case yet. If she hasn't filed that case, then
let me explain. She should have access to them, because when she goes and sees them in the prison, one of the things that may surmises, because for example, we don't know if he's in solitary confinement. I never brought it up because we don't know. It could be, it may not be. We don't know the prison conditions. It could be bad, it could be okay. When she goes in and sees them, she'll be able to observe that, and then based on that, if the conditions are bad, if he's in solitary confinement, that's another contravention of international law. You could then mount a more significant another additional arguments in the international sphere. So it's imperative that you can have access to your lawyer, because that's how you can make that deduction.
Is this a legal fact?
I'm just going to add in.
It is a legal fact, yeah.